wonder if that's...
Oh. Hey, weirdos. It's me, Daniel.
And his brother, Jake.
And we are together in the same outdoor space.
We're sitting on the patio of the fishing camp.
Now, that does look a little quiet, but we're both quiet, so it's okay.
Well, I can turn it up, maybe. Let me touch the...
There you go.
I can't quite... There we go. How's that?
Much better.
There's a lot of ambient noise. Maybe we should put on some background music on this.
No!
It's really loud in the headphones. I don't know.
We'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of the background noise. Hello? Hello?
Working? Check.
Oh, no. Anyway, yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's
Perfect. I'm going to take these headphones off. I feel stupid. Because it's super loud in my ears. All right. Good day. It's been about a month and a half. So that's about
that
usual.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly podcast. Well, I will start out by saying that I've got something that changed my life. And I've only found it out since arriving home.
And you haven't been willing to tell me because you were like, "We have to do this. I have to tell you on the podcast."
I hope I haven't built it up too much. But I had my friend Brent over, and I don't even know. Oh, I do remember how it came up. I was talking about, life, and something came up about a tossed salad. And I was like, toss your salad. And what do you think that means? Like, if in a sexual way, what do you think?
Like, when I hear it in the context of in prison, if somebody tossed your salad.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a Chris Rock thing about it?
I don't know.
Just tossing your salad. I thought it was like, I don't know, doing something with your nuts and your dick.
I thought it was a hand job. All my life.
I thought maybe it was like eating ass.
It's eating ass!
Oh!
And I don't know how many times I've said it just like in passing, like, oh, where have you been? Tossing a salad? Or, did you toss a salad? And now I'm like, oh.
You've been
I've been
casually asking the other men in your life if they've been eating ass.
Oh my gosh.
What? We're just eating ass for the last 5 minutes? What have you been up to? Eating ass like everybody does?
I said it all the time. Huh. Just like in passing, like just as a joke, like, but I did not know it meant eating an ass.
I didn't know eating ass.
How is that tossing a salad? There's no toss.
How is it sexualized? It's like the human centipede, but turned into a sexual fetish.
That is so gross. I'm so grossed out.
You want me to eat vanilla cream or cuttlefish and asparagus? Okay, cuttlefish and asparagus.
No.
Yeah, they eat a lot of ass in prison. I think.
Oh no, they couldn't. You wouldn't. Why would you?
I don't know. I guess just out of boredom, maybe.
Like, how bad is prison food? How bad can it be?
Mac and cheese or ass? I think I'll eat ass today.
We had mac and cheese the last 2 days.
Well, there you go. That was a mosquito. It's between your fingers, I think.
Did I get it?
I think maybe not. Mm. So we had it's been fun. Dan's been home for 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad we're doing this now instead of at the end of the trip, because when you leave, it's always kind of depressing. We're like,
well, I'm always a little bit depressing anyway.
Of course, the last time you were home, Dad had just died. So maybe that was...
Yeah, this is an upper.
Yeah, this one's not as bad. We've gotten over him.
But yeah.
Yeah, as you do.
We've moved on. Nice. We're looking for a new father now.
Mom probably is after all this.
No.
But I loved, we're up at the fishing camp now. I think this has been my favorite part of it, But my wife is mad at me because she didn't know you guys were staying. So I didn't tell her to come up.
Well, there's always going to be... Well, also, she might or might not have COVID.
That's true. Again. Maybe for the third time.
So, I mean, I don't want it.
No.
But
you won't be able to go home. And how fucked up is it that, like... So, you got here, surprisingly, but you got stuck in Sydney for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Scammed 3 times.
Scammed. I didn't hear that.
I got scammed. Well, yeah.
Okay.
In the course of 1 week, I got scammed 3 times.
What?
So my dog ran away 2 days before we left.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I didn't have her microchip registered. So I was like, okay. And she was found. Someone took her to a vet nearby. And it was kind of embarrassing because I'm a vet. And
your dog ran away.
And my dog ran away, and I
they
didn't
saw
have
the signs of abuse and cigarette burns.
No. And so I rushed home, and I was like, okay, I got to get her registered in case she runs away again.
Yeah.
And I registered her with a scam site that came up instead of the one that they told me to go to. So, so only $29 there. Then, citizen needed an ETA, which is like a visa. And we were like, no, that can't be. Like, she's a Canadian citizen. You don't need a visa.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I can't let you on the plane unless you have an ETA for her. So Aaron went on to, like, we had got them for Aaron and Elijah. But Aaron went on and went to get Alice's. And she was like, okay, we'll put in the passport details.
Yeah.
Everything. And, okay, Dan, give me your credit card because we were in a rush. We needed to get on the flight.
Yeah.
And she put it through, and the other ones were $7.99.
Right.
And this one didn't tell us how much it was, but she wasn't thinking. Like, it looked exactly the same as that site. And she put it through, and the little thing came up on my phone saying that a charge has gone through, and it was $120.
Huh?
And I was like, oh, we just got fucking scammed again.
So it wasn't a real site?
It wasn't a real site.
Oh,
no.
For God's sake.
So then that was my Visa card.
Yeah.
Then compromised.
And her passport number.
Yeah, well.
What
can you do with the number? Because obviously that didn't work.
Right.
And then the real Canadian transport site was down. So...
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So
as every Canadian
government
institution is.
So we had to put in a
functioning.
special permission for Alice to go. Anyway, and they closed the flight. The very second later, I got the email saying, accepted, she can go on. So they tried to rebook us, and they couldn't rebook us from there. So they said, I stood there for 8 hours at the thing with them, trying to work through it. And they were doing everything else other than helping me. But they were talking to me, but they weren't doing anything. So they said, look, you're going to have to just call the number, the reservations number. And
they didn't want to do the work.
They didn't want to do it. Yeah. So I called the number, and I waited on hold for 5 hours. And I had to check out of the hotel that I was in and check into the next hotel. And at the 4 hour and 38 minute mark, I got into the elevator to go down from my hotel room, and the call got cut off. So,
fuck me.
And I saw the bars dropping as I was going in the elevator, and I was like, oh no. But the doors shut, and just as they opened into the lobby, the call dropped out.
It failed.
So I went into the lobby, and I just was looking at my phone and just like, fuck! And it just, fuck, echoing. So then I tried again, and I just kept calling, and it kept cutting out. So then I called Mom to see if she could call from here to see if she could get through. And she Googled the Air Canada number, and she got through, and someone answered straight away, and she was talking to them. And so I stopped waiting on call, because I was like, okay, Mom's gotten through.
Yeah.
And I was just so relieved that we were getting somewhere. And this email came through, and it's like, my name's Nathan, blah, 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 blah. Just say yes if you're okay to go ahead with, because they were going to charge us like, I don't know, like $2,000 to rebook the flights.
Right.
So Mom was doing that, and she said yes. And then she said, okay, the guy said that you might need these. I've already sent it to him. It's a picture of her license and a picture of her last
social insurance number.
The last 4 digits of her credit card number.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's great, whatever. And I went to sleep because I was so stressed.
Yeah.
I woke up 4 hours later, and I was like, you know what? That seems sus.
Why would they ask for a license?
So anyway, I called Mom and told her that she had gotten scammed, and thankfully they hadn't taken the money out. So
good Lord,
they just canceled her credit card. And then I just stayed in Sydney for 3 days, and I couldn't eat because I was so stressed. Because I was like, our identities have been stolen, our credit cards have been stolen. What else?
And we've only made it an hour and a half from home on a round-the-world trip.
So fucked. Yeah, but then we got here, and they've only just canceled our flights as well. So
yeah,
but that's been rebooked.
And you're flying out of a different city, though.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But every airport in Canada is completely fucked right now.
Yeah.
So the chances of everything making it home are minuscule.
Well, I've got a buffer of 2 days.
I've got a buffer of 18 minutes.
2 days. 2 days. But apart from that, the trip has been great.
Yeah, I broke my tooth today. That was funny.
Was that today?
Was that today? No, it was yesterday. Because you know how I know? Because I woke up because my lip was stuck in my broken tooth. Which I just did again.
The funny part was, you broke your tooth, and you're like, huh, I think I just broke my tooth. And you're looking at me with this like
obvious broken tooth.
It's Dumb and Dumber-esque.
Yeah, very much so.
And not 5 minutes later, you went to change the fly on your rod, and you dropped, a really expensive fly, and you're like, no,
fuck, my fly. I think I've given up on my appearance. It's like, if it doesn't hurt, who cares what my teeth look like? But losing that fly was a real tragedy. That was good. It was a yellow Picasso tied by a guy named Scotty Doncaster, who's like preeminent fly tire.
Do you think that his name was like before he started tying flies, or?
Oh, because of the caster part?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That was a good question.
Or do you think it was just Johnny Don?
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know what?
It was probably Scott Thomas Doncaster, STD. But the way I broke my tooth was weird. I had the line in my mouth, and I was like, I think I was just trying to unknot something. And I pulled it through my mouth, and there was another knot back on the fly line. It caught the back of my tooth and just went between. Flipped it out of my mouth into the water.
And you just saw this little bit of enable.
Yeah, I did.
Sink
I found a little
bottom.
tiny piece. Yeah.
Will you get it fixed, or are you just going to live with that?
I don't know. It's really hard to get in the dentist. I made an appointment back at Christmas, and that appointment is for July 19th, and I have to cancel it because the reason I have to cancel it is because I'm supposed to be up here with Jonathan of the truck hunting fame.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a real shame. And I guess, is it the same dentist that we've always gone to, or?
No. So our first dentist was his uncle.
The guy that pulled out all my teeth?
And the minister at our church.
At
our weird little church at the Howard Johnson.
No, but I thought that the dentist that I know was a part owner of this place before you bought it.
Yep, that was a couple dentists ago. So they stopped taking people in the evening, so I moved to a dentist out towards where I live. Then they stopped taking people in the evening, so I moved out to another dentist, and now they've stopped taking people in the evenings.
The night dentist.
Yeah, and I can't get a day off work to go to the
What's
dentist.
An evening? What's an evening? Like after 6?
Between 4 and 7.
Oh, right.
They won't see patients. Like most dentists, they used to have one evening a week because there were people like me who can't go to work to go to the dentist. No such luck. So I guess I might just have the Dumb and Dumber tooth from now on.
Oh no, we'll get an emery board.
We'll file
that down.
But the problem is you file it and it'll be really short compared to the one.
Well,
next
no,
door.
it will just be really sharp. We'll file it to a point.
Interesting. Yeah. Interestingly, for our wedding, I had chipped it as well, and I went to a dentist, and they were like, "Oh, not a problem. Let me fix it." And they filed it short. They just filed it up to the top of the chip. Oh. So for our wedding pictures, I have one long front tooth and one short front tooth. I look like a hillbilly.
Well, I mean, we kind of are.
You were talking about being scammed. Every time I'm up here at the camp, I love it here. Don't get me wrong. I feel a little bit like maybe I got scammed. This trip,
this place?
Well, this trip, it's the mice. How many mice? I've caught upwards of 25 mice in the last 3 days.
None in that one, though.
No. It's like 2 small cabins connected by a breezeway or whatever. And one of them is full of mice. Yeah, but the other one had our waders in it, and they found a mouse nest in Elijah's waders that he was wearing.
Yeah, I don't know. I take it Jack never wore those.
I don't know.
Because I think it was just that, you know how they fill the toes with paper?
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Just that. Or it was a hornet's nest.
It could have been a hornet's nest. Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny spot. But the mice are driving me bananas. I haven't had a good night's sleep because every time I fall asleep, I dream that a mouse is trying to crawl up my asshole or my urethra or whatever. And I jump away.
Oh, for those playing at home, Jake has an abnormally large urethra hole in his dink.
Well, a mouse can get anywhere their whiskers will fit. And I know one whisker will go up there.
It's going to be both. Let's push their way through. Have you seen The Boys?
No. I saw the first 2 seasons.
Oh, well, the newest season, the first episode, is this guy who can shrink really small. And he goes, he's gay, and his boyfriend goes, "I want you inside of me." And he shrinks really small, and he goes up his urethra. When we were kids, we had a cottage like this, which had mice in it.
Was full of mice.
And they never bothered us, except one night you woke up and you always had night terrors. Like, you always were yelling something in your sleep, like, "The grasshoppers are dead, rejoice." Yeah. Or, like, things that were just crazy. And one night you just woke up screaming, and we're like, "Oh, here we go again." And you're like, "There's a mouse! There's a mouse right in front of my face!" And we're like, "Shut up, Jake. Go to sleep.
Spit on me.
Go to sleep." And you had woken up, and you had slapped this mouse across the face, and we told you that you were dreaming, and you went back to sleep, and you woke up, and you were covered in seeds.
Yeah, it had eaten it, like it filled its cheeks with seeds, I imagine, and then I smashed it against the wall. Yeah. That was real. That was a real mouse. The other weird thing that happened to me, you ever get like the creepy crawlies lying there, and you think, "Oh my God, there's a spider or something on my leg," and then you check, and there's never anything there. Yeah. Like it's just the way the blanket is, or your hairs are, or whatever. So one night about 3 years ago, I was lying in bed at home, and I was like, "Oh God, there's a spider on my leg," and I said, "No, there isn't. You're a 40-year-old man. You don't need to do this anymore." And so I just lay there, and I was like, "There's no way it's a spider." And then I felt it moving up my leg, and I pulled the blanket back, and it was the biggest, hairiest fucking spider I have ever seen. This big brown spider was crawling up towards my ball bag. I hate that.
Usually if they're hairy, they've got all the babies on their back. That would be the worst if you hit that one and all the babies spilled all over the place.
Oh, again, going up the asshole and the urethra, they'd be everywhere.
I don't know if that's their target abode.
The habitat of the brown house spider includes dark corners, basements, and male bladders.
Male genitalia.
What did Dad call them? Crotch crickets. When he got cramps.
Gross.
My father made me get blue ointment.
It got rid of them, but it also got rid of all my skin and hair.
Well, you know that blue ointment was full of mercury.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Funny that didn't kill him, but...
Well, it might have. It takes its time.
But doesn't it go to the brain?
Yeah, well, according to the only podcast I've listened to about mercury poisoning. What was that called? S-Town. Did you listen to that one?
Yeah.
John B. McLemore?
Oh, yeah, but he didn't have mercury poisoning.
Well, they think maybe he did.
And that's
you know how he was so paranoid?
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah. So they think because he was working on clocks and watch faces and stuff, and he used mercury a lot.
Oh.
And that's also why he had access to cyanide.
What did they use cyanide in watchmaking?
I think they use it to put silver on, like to silver coat dials, like to chrome coat dials.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah. I didn't listen to the last episode. So.
Yeah, so it was a discussion of why he...
Because I was like, ugh, got boring after he died.
Yeah. And then the fella, the young guy that he'd taken under his wing, kind of.
Yeah.
The last episode was really sad because it was all about him looking for gold.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I did listen to the last episode.
Yeah. I was like, I know John left something for me here.
Yeah.
And you never really know, did he? And he found it and he's just not saying? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually a good podcast. I started listening to it with Mom as we were on a road trip. And we only got into 5 minutes and we were like, no. No.
His voice sounded like Zach Galifianakis playing his own brother from the South.
Yeah.
Onions and Fugees.
But yeah, it was by the same people who did Serial, which I think was the first one was the best.
Yeah, This American Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, Serial was good. That was the Mond, whatever his name is. And then the first season was great. And then the second season was okay. That was the one with Bo, what's his name? The army guy ran away and got captured by the Taliban. And then the third season was like a day, like going to court every day in Cincinnati or something. And it was okay. It wasn't bad. And the fourth one was super political. And I was just like, fuck this. I
didn't listen to it. Yeah. I didn't even listen to the whole Bo one. It was
Bo Bergman. That was his name.
Oh, what a terrible name.
Well, it's got the alliteration factor.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I've got a little medical podcast I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Doom.
Oh.
Yeah, the Dr. Doom podcast, if you look it up. Now, I'm sure I'm going to have to change the name because it turns out that's a Marvel superhero.
Really?
Yeah. So it might be the Dr. Danger podcast.
That's Doctor Strange.
No. But there is a Dr. Doom in the Marvel universe, apparently. I looked it up after because I was like, oh, that's too good a name. But anyway, that's all medical stories. If you want to join and listen to that one.
Your dick story is it again?
My dick is in that one. It features prominently.
It's not a video podcast.
No, thankfully. Yeah, nobody would want to see that. Although if you're into insectile urethral sounding, I'll let you know if it happens tonight.
Or mouse.
Best joke. We heard the best joke the other day. Dan, did you know that pigeons die after having sex?
No.
Well, the one I fucked did.
I said that. I told Mom that joke.
I did too.
Oh no, I told Aaron.
Yeah, that's a great joke. The other one, okay, listener discretion is advised. Okay, the other one that I thought was quite funny was Chrissy got quite offended when I used the word cunt. But to me, that's what her lasagna tasted like.
Oh my gosh. But speaking of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've had quite a trip.
I went out with my cousin, who I love, and we always have a great time when we're together. But we went to this new, well, I guess it's not new, but it's got a new location for this gastropub. I should have known by the name gastropub.
Yeah.
But we went out for some beers and some food. And she said, I've never been disappointed with anything that I eat here. It's always so good. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I always just get the pizza of the week. And, that's always really good. And I was like, sweet. She's like, you got to try the garlic fingers. Done. We got a pretzel, garlic fingers, pizza of the week. They came to us and they said, just have to go down to the road because we're out of clams here and we just have to get the clams from the other restaurant. No worries. What's that for? No, we don't care.
I didn't order Caesar.
Yeah.
What's with the clams?
So we had the garlic bread. Aaron was introduced to donair sauce. Not a fan.
Sweet jizz.
That's what I told her it was.
Yeah.
And maybe it is.
It's the same consistency.
I don't know. Pretty thick.
Well, depends on how long it's been.
And how much water you've consumed.
How much asparagus juice you've been drinking.
Eventually, the main course came, which was, we had pizza, and pretzel.
Yeah.
So it was pretty carbohydrate rich.
Yeah. And beer.
And, I didn't. Oh, I did have a beer. It was forgettable. The pizza was arugula.
Good.
Yeah. Garlic.
Excellent on a pizza.
White wine sauce.
Okay, I can see that.
Clams.
You lost me.
Lots and lots of clams.
Are we talking fried clams?
Nope. I don't know how they were cooked. Boiled? I smelt it before I saw it. It
was a seagull's dream.
It was atrocious. So I was already kind of full because I'm on that drug.
Yeah.
So I'm on a drug to make me always look at the microphone as if it knows me.
Let me explain. I do drugs.
I'm on a drug prescribed by the doctor to make me not hungry, so I'm not so fat. So I had 2 garlic bread pieces, and I was like, oof, daddy's full.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to have 1 piece of this. The very first bite that I had, all sand. It was all sand. It hurt my teeth.
I'll tell you what, if it makes you feel any better, it was actually shit.
Clam shit.
It was clam shit.
Yeah.
They filtered the sand.
Yeah. Well, this one was mid-filter. It was...
They didn't give it a squeeze before they put it on the
It
pie.
was the most disgusting thing I've ever had.
I bet they had to go to the other store because they were like, nobody's ever ordered this pizza.
Who has clams? I had the 1 piece. I took the one with the least amount of anything on it. Mostly bread, bit of clam.
A little bit of clam.
Aaron had at least 2 pieces that I could see. Being polite? Don't know.
Drunk? Maybe.
Maybe just hungry. That night... Oh, and we took it home. So I said to our cousin, I said...
Please take away.
Take it. We don't, we won't eat it. You take it. No. You take it. The kids would love it for breakfast. Okay.
Yeah, the kids love
clams.
Sea creatures.
Clams for breakfast.
I wonder if they have any periwinkles and starfish pizza. With the shell still on.
I like crunch. Do you have any hard shell crab?
Do you have any... looking for a pizza that the main ingredients are hard shell crab and jellyfish.
People eat jellyfish
in Vietnam.
Yeah, I know. They do, though. They do.
I feel like there's a large-ish animal walking around out there. I can hear it.
I can hear it, too.
We're just sitting on the patio, potentially being stalked by a fucking killer bear.
Well, we've got a 3-second head start because it will find its way.
Yeah, it's going to make its way through the screen. Yeah. I'll hit it with my non-alcoholic beer bottle. I'll buy it sometime.
So, anyway, we took it home and promptly threw it in the bin in its own wrapper because it was so stinky.
It needed like a double.
Yeah.
A double bagger.
It was bad. I immediately... Well, Aaron and I took Tums on the way there because we were both like, ugh. I don't want to go out. I don't feel good, but I wanted to see our cousin.
Yeah.
And then we immediately took Tums upon entry of the car to depart and go home. I got home and took Gravol.
Yeah.
And Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Erin left it at the Tums.
She thought she'd be okay.
She was not okay. Spoilers. She was pretty sick.
She barfed.
No, she came so close. Like, I could hear the, oh, come on. Oh, come on.
And the stomach sounds.
Yeah. Like, she didn't spew. But it was close.
It made it as far as the back of her lips. She was like, fucking swallow that down.
Don't you do it.
Not in my bed. Swallow it. Swallow it now.
Well, and then, I don't know how many days. July 1st. We were there for Canada Day in Dad's hometown.
Yeah.
In Pugwash. I had a lobster roll.
Yeah.
That afternoon. Everything was good.
You probably have what I have.
No.
Which is, I think it's called shellfish-related enteroclysis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Entero what?
Clysis. It means when you eat shellfish,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, all your bowel sucks up all the fluid from your body. So it takes a few hours. And you probably get like hot, flushed feeling in your skin. I got that. And I can't eat lobster anymore. I love lobster.
Well, I don't.
You can't eat it anymore.
But we had a lobster sandwich, and then we went out for dinner, and I had a beer, like one singular, and nachos with jalapeno.
Yeah, I can't eat that either.
And I had half a Reuben sandwich because I was full.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could eat. I woke up, who knows what time.
Yeah.
Barfed.
God.
Beaucoup de barf.
Oh, awful.
All the barf.
Yeah.
Barfed twice. Then I went upstairs and I said, Erin, help me. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And I went back downstairs and she brought me gravel. And then I barfed again.
Oh, God.
But it wasn't... I didn't feel overly unwell, but the burning from the jalapenos in my nose and throat...
Horrendous.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, it was so bad.
Yeah, I'd rather die.
I don't know why. So much barf.
It's awful.
So much barf.
Well, that's probably the enteroclysis.
But
Right?
then I went and had clam pizza. If I'd known, I'd be like, oh no, I'm allergic.
Yeah.
And it would be like, I'd know we would have just
It's
gotten
a get
pepperoni.
out of jail free. Yeah.
Just a little bit of pepperoni.
Yeah. Never ordered a pizza of the week without it knowing what the pizza of the week is.
Oh, well, I guess they knew. I didn't. I was like, whatever. Yeah, good. I like pizza.
Clams?
Who doesn't like pizza?
Sign me up.
I've never had bad pizza. Never. Like, even the frozen pizza, I'm like,
it's like sex. You can have bad sex. You can have bad pizza. You still enjoy it.
No, I didn't.
No.
Not this.
Now it's new. This is like...
Also, I don't think I've ever had bad sex. Aaron probably has had.
You just haven't had it yet. But say Brent had sex with you. Then you would have bad sex.
Then that would have been bad. That would be bad sex. Well... Who knows?
The mouse can go in the same place. It would be less scary, maybe, once it's been done once. Brent was so funny.
He said it will fit anywhere the foreskin fits.
It's the whiskers of the dick.
Dick whiskers.
Yeah. Who wants to climb Mount Hood? Oh fuck, what was I just about to say? Shit, it's gone. It was related to that comment.
We went fishing today in the middle of absolute nowhere.
Oh yeah, that was quite something.
And Jake, you wanted so badly to see a bear. For me to see a bear. Yeah, like for me to have.
We see them quite often up here.
To the point where everything was a bear.
A bunny on the road.
Bunny?
Like, hey,
bunny.
Is that a bear? You were
No.
like, yeah, it's a bunny rabbit.
It's a bunny. Oh my gosh, a bear!
I actually backed up.
Backs up. Nope. Stump.
It's a tree stump.
It's a tree
just
stump.
a dark tree stump.
Then moose. Nope. Recycling. Recycling bin.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I've always been disappointed because every time I go to Australia, I think I'm going to see a kangaroo, and I've never seen one.
Oh, well.
I saw wallabies at the wallaby enclosure.
They were chained to a post.
Yeah, They looked very unhappy. They were not happy.
They were chained to a post, and they were actually food for the crocodiles.
And I saw them, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, awesome, kangaroos! I have never seen a kangaroo." And the guy was like, "Mate, that's a wallaby." It's like, what? It's like, those aren't kangaroos. Those are wallabies. Fuck! I just want to see kangaroo. Do you have kangaroos? No, mate. Why would we have kangaroos? I don't know. It's a marsupial. It was fucked.
It's funny, yeah, we don't see them very often, but when we went to Bagara, which is just outside of Bundaberg, everywhere.
Kangaroos.
Yeah.
They're like deer here. We see deer at home everywhere.
Yeah.
They just walk across your lawn and stuff.
We see wallabies, but kangaroos. There. Well, I mean, you can go.
How can you tell they look exactly the same?
Oh no, wallabies are little.
Are they that little? I don't remember them being that little.
Yeah, wallabies that big sometimes. Yeah, no.
It just right. This is a podcast. His hand was about 1.5 feet off the ground.
knee height.
Knee height.
Depending on the length.
I felt like they were hip height. I felt like they were like
maybe if they're standing on their back legs.
Yeah. They were the Hobbit equivalent, like a Hobbit.
Yeah, and then like the kangaroos are the size of a deer.
Yeah, and they're muscly.
Yeah.
The bull kangaroos.
Yeah, you wouldn't fuck with them.
Well, you might. You
Well.
could learn a tough lesson. Did you ever see that thing where they actually put a kangaroo in the boxing ring with the guy?
No.
Yeah, that's like from the 1930s.
Really?
Yeah.
The boxing kangaroo.
Yeah, the boxing kangaroo, Joey. Yeah.
I don't know if it's kangaroos. Koalas have 2 dicks.
Koalas.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the kangaroo.
But that's because girl koalas have 2 vaginas.
2 vaginas. Yeah.
Did you know that koalas die after birth?
Hey, they're riddled with chlamydia. I wouldn't go there.
Oh man, we were supposed to record this podcast on July 1st back like last week, 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, it's going by too fast. But and we were going to do it with Brent, and we were really excited, and then he got way too drunk.
Oh, tout le monde.
We were trying to teach him Pig Latin, and I was like, it's really easy. You just like use the word, but take the first letter and put it at the end, and then say A after it. And he said, "So my name would be Entby." And I said, "What the fuck? No, not Entby.
Entby. I'm Entby.
Entby."
And then we were just like, "Yep, that's it.
Sure.
You got it."
I just put the computer away. I was like, okay, I'm just going to fold this up. This is not going to work.
This ship has sailed.
Oh my god.
Shit, what was I going to say? Oh, I can't remember.
Well, it was fucking awesome having you home.
It's nice to be. It's amazing that you own this place.
It is weird that I own this place.
It's really weird.
You know, Corey knows this place. I don't know if he's ever been here, but it would have been fun to have him up when you were here. But
Oh, he's our
I don't know
fan.
if have you met Corey in person? Corey Nixon?
No.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
Not unless
super
I went
nice
to school with him.
You go to church with him when you're here, but we haven't been to church.
No.
I do church podcasts still. Like, I'm not sure that counts. On the list of the sins that I commit on a daily basis, church podcast is probably like pretty low priority. I would have to guess.
Well, I think that's why they make it a podcast. It's for people. Remember, like 100 Hutley Street or whatever.
Yeah.
That Nanny Jack used to.
Yeah, church for shut-ins.
Yeah.
I'm a shut-in.
Well, I'm extreme. I'm to the max.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Rob, if you're listening. I haven't been there in like 3 years.
I'm just scared of COVID, really. And now.
Well, I don't want you to get it.
Now
I'm in trouble with Chrissy because she might have COVID, but she was like, she's missing a good time because you guys are up here. But I was like, well, we can't give them COVID, and then they're already going to be fucked on their flights.
Yeah.
What if they have a fever? We're in a new wave.
I
of
don't
COVID.
even know what I would do if I had a fever on that flight. Maybe just sleep.
Yeah,
And have an
maybe
excuse and not feel. But
to
then
not take
Aaron
care of
would
the kid.
also be sick.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Well, I'm sick too." Like,
That's awful. I hate that feeling when everybody's sick, but one of you has to take care of children.
yeah.
Because it really like pulls me in two directions. the direction of not wanting to help my family and just help myself,
Yes.
and the direction of not being able to afford a divorce.
Yeah. Would you like a divorce? What are my options? Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's fun catching up, and yeah, we'll do one when you get home, probably.
Yeah, or before I go.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun.
Put
an extra one out. But yeah, he's got to head off to Darwin as soon as he gets home. For like how long? A week?
A week. Yeah, mover and a shaker. You know.
You're a big player in the veterinary game.
Yeah. Yeah. Big fish.
Big fish.
Do you watch $1 Million Bogan?
Yeah.
I
haven't seen the recent ones, but I just had one recommended.
He's such a dink.
Yeah.
Because he does the stupidest shit, but you can't help but like the guy.
Well, because he's kind of like Jeremy Clarkson. A little bit.
Yeah.
Like he does things, and he must know it's gonna be fucked up.
No.
But I can't tell. He's harder to read.
I know, yeah. And he says things, and I think he's saying it as a joke, but he stands beside it so strongly. Like he's got, I don't know, like he's got quite a few, like 150,000 followers or something like that. But he's always like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for my YouTube channel. You know, I'm a pretty big fish. Do you know what a big fish is? Yeah, I'm pretty important. And you're like,
you know, our podcast has a percentage of that.
Yeah, so I'm a pretty big fish.
We're big fishes.
Yeah, I'm a published podcaster.
Listen to this Dr. Doom podcast. I put one out every day for 24 days.
Oh, wow.
Guess how many? Guess how big the audience is now?
How many?
Just guess.
20. 2.
3.
3 people?
3 subscribers. So,
well, that's me and you.
And,
Chrissy.
No, it's not. Chrissy doesn't subscribe. She doesn't like the podcast. In fact, I was like, oh, this one's really a funny story. Let me put it on. She's like, no, we're not listening to that. Just tell me the story, for fuck's sake. I don't have to listen to it on the stereo. I'm sitting here with you. Like, no, you don't get it. It's in podcast form. I put music to the background.
You must do it. You don't edit it at all?
No, you can't. I use a Anchor software for it because it's free.
Oh.
And I didn't know how to use this software. I was like, I know we're paying for this one, but yeah, I don't know. And I also use the address for people to write in. Guess what email address I use?
Dr. Doom.
No, One Foot in the Grave podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, do you really?
Because I'm not going to put a new email. I'm probably never going to make another episode.
That's really funny.
But I was like, man, where do I tell these stories? Because they're all like really specific medical stories. The one that's got the most listens, that actually it has like over 40 or 50 listens, I think, is called the genital wart proposition.
Mm.
And it's actually, did I tell you the story? Do you know it? When I was a medical student, I had to do OBGYN.
Mm.
And one of the things that happens in obs-gynae is that like you have to plan C-sections for people who have contraindications to vaginal delivery.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the contraindications is like STDs, and genital warts is one of those. And usually you can get away, you just spot treatment or whatever. But this girl came in because she needed to be checked to see if she would qualify for C-section versus natural delivery. And so I was with a nurse, thank God. And I said, well, what's the story? And she told me the story. And I said, okay, well, we'll have a look. And then I've got to report it to the OBGYN. And then we'll all come back and they may want to look again. Is that okay? Yeah. So she, we left and she got undressed or whatever and put on the Johnny. And then we came back and did the examination. And it was like, you remember what your feet looked like when you were a child and you had like warts growing on top of warts?
Yeah.
It was like that, but with a vulva instead of a foot. It was the most you've ever seen. They were like from the butt cheeks all the way around. It was like a pair of underwear made of warts. So it's just like, I think, she said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I think you're probably having a C-section. I said, that's a lot to treat.
Yeah.
Before you deliver in 3 weeks. Okay. You know, it's not her fault. Getting pregnant, like pregnancy makes it worse sometimes, like, for whatever reason. But anyway, so that was fine. We went out. I talked to the OBGYN. I tried to explain the situation. We all went back in with the nurse and the OBGYN. And while they were doing the physical exam, I was standing up at the head of the bed. She asked me where I was from, and I said, you know, the city that I was from. And then she said, "What are you doing after work?" And I said, "I don't know. Why?" And she said, "Well, I just felt like we had some chemistry when you were in here earlier, and I don't have a partner at the moment, and I thought maybe you'd like to go out for a drink." I was like, "Well, you shouldn't be drinking. You're pregnant, and I can't date patients. I'm sorry. It's." I was like, "Oh, there are rules about patients and stuff." Anyway, I was like, "Okay, hopefully I've skirted this and nobody's going to say anything," but that was not to be. The Obsgyne took me aside and they were like, "I need you to tell me everything that happened when you were in this room before. What did you do? How did you touch the patient?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck. How much trouble am I in?" So I went through it, and thank God the nurse was there. And then they went and interviewed her, and she was like, "You didn't do anything inappropriate. It was, you know, she's crazy." But then a resident came down, the senior resident. They talked to me. They were like, "I just need to make sure that everything's above board," and you know this. But they were pretty nice about it. They were like, "Sometimes this happens. Just, you know, as long as you didn't do anything inappropriate, you don't have anything to worry about." And I was like, How fucked up is it? Like, how easy would it be to get kicked out of medical school and labeled a pervert for life because of something like this? So I said, "Well, I'm happy to never do another exam if that." And I'm definitely not doing Obsgyne. So, you know, why don't you put me in the OR and I'll hold retractors like for the rest of this rotation? That's what I did.
Oh my gosh, but you've got to admire the confidence.
Yeah,
like a vagina and anus full of warts.
Yeah, nastiest looking thing.
And you've seen it. You know.
Yeah.
Still goes. Still shoots a shot.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think her angle was like, you know, I put out.
Yeah. This is only the disease you can see.
Yeah. I've got more. You're interested in disease, right? You're a doctor. Why don't I show you some of my diseases?
And actually, you can experience them.
I also had a weird story about a girl that I went on a date with when I was in medical school. Remember my pus toe? I had like chronic toenail
infection. How could anyone forget the pus toe?
It's actually currently infected again.
Well done.
So I get ingrown toenails.
It's just like being a kid again.
Yeah. I get these ingrown toenails and then I have to get them resected or whatever. And so I just had it resected and I had this like bandage on it and it was fucking painful. And it was January in Newfoundland, but I was walking around in Birkenstocks with no socks on because it hurt to put a sock on.
Yeah.
So I went to this party with my fucking toe all wrapped up in Birkenstocks like an asshole. And met this girl and we were laughing about my foot and, you know, all that stuff. And I thought, hey, this could work. And I asked her on a date. And by the time the date came around, like the next week, I was back in like normal shoes or whatever. And we didn't get along at all. Like, it was really strange. Like, she was like, well, you know, I'm not into religious people. I'm not into... Sandals. Well, so at the end of the date, like, I was just like, I don't even like this person. But I said, it was the first date I'd been on in like 3 years. I said, I'm just curious. Like, I felt like we got along really well at the party. And now nothing. I wondered if I said something that turned you off. I mean, it's, you know, no pressure if you don't want to answer that. She said, well, you're going to think this is weird, but I kind of have this foot thing that I like feet. And I was like, oh, but you don't want to see my feet now. I was like, no, I don't really want to show them to you anymore either. I was like, that's kind of weird.
Did she go to podiatry?
No, she probably makes videos on the internet of stepping on eggs and shit now.
I know. Apparently, you can make a lot of money selling... Well, not you.
Not me.
Well, look. Actually,
could be,
there's a lid for every pot.
Yeah. Pes planus fetish. I'm looking for an overweight man
with a mouse in his dick.
With a mouse tail hanging out of his penis, and he uses his flat feet to step on cabbage. Also, I hope he has 3/4 of a toenail on each large toe. Well, on that note, as well wrap her up.